I'm Councilman Chris Ham, and today's Around Town will focus on public safety services and programs available to the residents of San Clemente. In addition to serving you as a council member, I am also a fire apparatus engineer stationed right here in Talega at Fire Station 59. Although we contract with the Orange County Fire Authority for emergency services, the city of San Clemente operates differently from the cities around us because of a forward-thinking fire chief in the 1980s that set forth cutting-edge policies in fire protection and emergency medical services. Our system is very efficient and cost-effective for our residents. We have 3 fire stations located in town, which we'll visit today and speak with firefighters who are cross-trained as paramedics. I'm here at Station 59 with one of the firefighter paramedics stationed here, Mike Suffredini. Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's stationed here and what kind of personnel we have out here?
Well, Chris, this is Station 59 in Talega. We're at Hermosa and La Pata, right behind the sports park. Here we have Truck 59. The truck is a little bit different piece of apparatus than most you see. Has a big ladder on top. It's actually the only truck in this south end of the county, which includes Dana Point, Capo Beach, and San Clemente. So we respond to fires all around. The most important thing, though, I would say is we're the paramedics for this area. We staff this truck with 2 paramedic firefighters and also the captain and the engineer who drives the truck.
Mike, what do you think about showing us some of the specialized equipment the truck carries?
Sure, Chris. Actually, they call the truck the toolbox of the fire service, so we have quite a bit of equipment I can show you.
Here's some of that specialized equipment that the truck carries. Mike, why don't you tell us about what you're holding?
Chris, this is what most people refer to as the jaws of life. It's really just a big pair of scissors that we can cut maybe the top off of a car in case somebody's entrapped in the car. It works pretty fast. We can turn a car into a convertible in about a minute.
Hey Mike, what do you use this thing for? Are you guys doing a lot of tree trimming out there in the city?
Oh, not exactly, Chris. This is a chainsaw, of course, but we use it usually for cutting holes in roofs in a house that might be on fire. The idea for that is to let all the smoke out, like making a chimney. That way the fire doesn't spread throughout the rest of the house.
Making it a little easier for the residents and the firefighters to get in effectively and put the fire out?
That's the idea. We try to let all the smoke and heat out from the roof so that the other firefighters can go in through the front door with the hoses.
Okay, great. Thanks. Aside from responding to all types of emergencies here in South County, Mike, what other programs are you guys involved with?
Well, it's funny you ask that, Chris. A lot of people think we sit around the firehouse just playing cards and waiting for the next emergency. But really, our days are quite full with things like fire prevention. We go to the different businesses around the city and make sure that they're fire safe, which includes checking their fire extinguishers and their fire sprinkler systems. We also go to the schools and talk to the kids about being safe as well, programs like Stop, Drop, and Roll and that sort of thing.
Well, fantastic, Mike. Thanks for coming out this afternoon and talking to us a little bit about what you do here.
Sure, Chris.
I'm here standing in front of an antique fire engine from the 50s, and standing with me is Fire Captain Joe Steelman here at Station 59. Joe, why don't you tell me a little bit about this fire engine we have behind us?
Well, this is, I think, the second Crown ever built, and it used to actually service the area of Engine 50 in the late 60s. At that time, the county fire department was volunteer down here, but did respond to just about everything, so it's seen a lot of use over the years. We keep it here mostly for parade use and other public demonstrations.
Fantastic. Joe, can you talk to me a little bit about the hours of operation here at Station 59 and every station in San Clemente?
All right, well, we have 3 stations here in San Clemente, and like every station under the Fire Authority, we're open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for your needs. We respond on a variety of different calls, all the way from medical aids, structure fires, vegetation fires, just about any time the public needs our assistance.
And how many shifts are on duty to cover 365 days a year?
Well, we have 3 shifts, and that's constant manning, so all those spots are covered.
Okay. Fantastic, Joe. Thanks for coming out today.
Thank you, Chris.
Cap Munson, why don't you tell me a little bit about this Type 3 here and why it kind of looks like a monster truck. It's got these big tires and it's real high off the ground.
Our Type 3 apparatus is what we use to respond to vegetation fires. It's 4-wheel drive, carries 500 gallons of water, and can go just about anywhere. And often we're up in the foothills or in the mountains, so we have to have 4-wheel drive capability, and that's about it.
And about how long can you be out away from the station in this type of apparatus?
This engine just got back from a 2-week deployment up to Yosemite on the rim fire, so we can be gone anywhere from a couple of days to 2 to 3 weeks.
I'm here at new Fire Station 60, located right here in downtown San Clemente. As you can tell, they're one of the busiest stations in San Clemente. Located at this fire station is paramedic engine 60 with 4 personnel, 2 firefighter paramedics, and newly transferred to the station is the city's ET, which is also an ambulance, staffed by 2 full-time EMTs. We just got here to Fire Station 60, and although Engine 60 is out, I happened to find Linda Veraster, one of our EMS educators. Linda, what were you teaching the guys today?
Today we were learning more about our electronic patient care record as well as our new CPR dashboard that allows us to get real-time feedback about CPR to patients in a cardiac arrest. We learned about our new criteria-based dispatch system at the OCFA and about medications that will be available now for the paramedics to use on patients in the field.
And how much training on average do the paramedics get a year from you?
Somewhere between 24 hours and more every year.
Fantastic. And what do you think about the firefighters here in San Clemente, being that you are a resident of the city of San Clemente?
Two thumbs up to the firefighters here in San Clemente. I could attest to the fact that they deliver the highest quality EMS care that the citizens of San Clemente could ever expect.
Unfortunately, as soon as we arrived, Engine 60 and ET 60 responded on a call. Fortunately for us, we were able to find their backup unit that they respond on when Engine 60 is down, getting serviced and things of that nature. So I'm going to go ahead and test it out, make sure the bell works. I think we're ready to respond. Let's go. As we wrap up fire services, I'd like to remind San Clemente residents of the Emergency Transportation Program that provides low-cost emergency services. This subscription-based program costs $40 a year and covers the subscriber and all his and her legal dependents in the household. This allows for emergency transportation to the local hospital as many times as emergency service is needed during the year. To sign up, it's easy. Just call 949-361-8282 or download an application at www.san-clemente.org. I'm here below City Hall with Chief of Police Services, Lieutenant John Kopic. John, how long have you been with the Orange County Sheriff's Department?
Well, Chris, I've been with the Sheriff's Department for 20 years, but if you remember back in 1993, the city decided to contract with police services with the Sheriff's Department, but before that I spent 7.5 years as a police officer with the San Clemente Police Department.
What does the city of San Clemente get with contracting with the Orange County Sheriff's Department that they may not have received with the San Clemente Police Department?
Well, in addition to the monetary savings of contracting, outsourcing police services, as you will, the Sheriff's Department is such a large department countywide, and the city has the benefit of only paying for the personnel that's actually assigned here in San Clemente. But in addition to that, that comes free of charge is the breadth of the Sheriff's Department and the wide variety of other assignments that we have here, including SWAT teams, our helicopters, our bomb squads, our specialized investigations teams such as gangs, narcotics, homicide, and all that comes free of charge to the city of San Clemente as part of the contract with the Sheriff's Department.
Now, Chief, how many deputies do we have on duty a day here in the city of San Clemente?
Well, actually, the number varies upon the time of day, day of week, but normally we have a minimum of 6 patrol cars out at any one time, and usually that's augmented by cover cars and by our motor deputies as well. So there'd be 6, maybe 8, 9, 10 deputies out at a time, of course depending on the day of the week and the hour of the day.
Now we're standing here in front of San Clemente Police Services, and what makes the city of San Clemente's contract different from all the cities around us because of this building behind us here?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Chris, because the Sheriff's Department here in San Clemente is very unique in all of South Orange County, because we are the only contract city that operates out of its own station house in the city. All of our other contract cities in South Orange County work out of our regional station in Aliso Viejo, but in San Clemente we're fortunate because the deputies come and go from the station here in San Clemente as opposed to having to come and go from Aliso Viejo. So that's a huge benefit to the people of San Clemente.
Much more like a police department would function as opposed to the Sheriff's Department.
Absolutely. Really it is like having your own personalized police department. It's just we wear different uniforms and drive the cars that are different color. But it really is like having your own police department.
Well, Chief, thanks for your time. I'm going to go get a ride along from one of your deputies out here, and hopefully we'll have a safe day. I'm here at the San Clemente Police Station with Deputy Courtney Ward. Deputy Courtney Ward, how long have you been with the Orange County Sheriff's Department?
I've been with the Sheriff's Department for just over 10 years and in San Clemente for about 1.5 years almost.
Okay, and how long is your shift that you work typically in a day?
Generally, it's a 12-hour shift.
And do you cover a certain part of town or you cover all of San Clemente?
We're assigned to a specific patrol area, but it just kind of depends on the way the day goes. Sometimes we end up handling calls all over the city. It really just depends. But we are assigned to a specific patrol area.
And Deputy Ward, your patrol area today is going to be the beaches, right?
Absolutely, wherever you want to go.
Fantastic. Well, I got my vest on. I got my gun. Oh, I don't got a gun.
That's okay, I
but
do. I'll protect you. I got it. I got
fantastic. So I think
It's my job.
we're ready to go, right?
We're ready to go.
Okay, let's do this. I'm here in Car Ramrod with Deputy Ward. Deputy Ward, why don't you tell me why you have a laptop in your car?
This is actually one of our most useful tools. Right here I can see all the calls currently assigned to deputies in everyone on this channel, and that includes San Juan Capistrano, Dana Point, and San Clemente. And this here would list all the pending calls in all 3 of those cities. So as you can see, we don't have any pending calls right now, and a couple of deputies are busy on various calls. Also, I have to keep a daily log of all my activities, so I'm able to do that while I'm throughout the day as I go on my calls. It's a little bit behind right now, but that's okay. I'll catch that up later. This is a mapper here. It tells me where cars are in the city. It helps me navigate throughout the city if I need to. It tells me how to get to a call if I need it to, although I prefer to use my map or my own GPS as opposed to this. And also we have this very useful tool here. It allows us to run out license plates and get information on people to see if they're wanted, things like that. It's a super handy tool. When it's working, it's great. 175, 10-4.
So we're responding to an automatic burglary alarm in Forster Ranch with Deputy Ward. Deputy Ward, why don't you tell us about what 99% of the calls are that come out for burglary alarms?
Generally when this happens, it's when the homeowner or the business owner or an employee enters or leaves a business and doesn't enter the code in enough time or enters an improper code or what have you. And then when the alarm company tries to call them, they get no answer or confirmation that everything's okay, so they send us out to make sure. Occasionally these do indicate that there's been an attempted break-in. It will just depend. So our priority when we get there is just to make sure that everything is safe and secure, and that there is no signs of break-in, which generally is the case, but sometimes it's not. And we treat everything like it's real until we know it's not. So.
And you're glad that I'm here for backup, right? So you don't need a radio in for backup at this point?
I couldn't feel safer, Chris. Couldn't feel safer.
So our handy dandy laptop here is giving some special notes to the officers, which makes it safer for them when they respond to different types of calls. One of the responses we're getting here is that there's a bedroom alarm. So how would you go about this type of burglary call with a bedroom alarm like this?
Well, I'm going to go about it the same way as we go about everything else, but what this is, why this is helpful is because it tells us the alarm was activated through the bedroom window. So I don't know which bedroom window, but I know I'm not going to be looking for signs of entry from the front door necessarily, though that's not always true, but the alarm was activated at the bedroom window, so I'm going to want to make sure to pay special attention to that area when I'm going around the house, making sure everything's okay.
So technology really helps with the Orange County Sheriff's Department.
It does indeed.
We're here on scene of the automatic burglar alarm with Deputy Ward, and this is one of the instances where the Orange County Sheriff's Department protects and serves. So they come out to the house when you have an automatic burglar alarm, and they ensure that your house has not been broken into. So how did this call go?
Essentially arrived on scene. I located the vehicle in the driveway. I ensured that the vehicle was registered to this address, so there's nothing suspicious about its presence here. I requested a call inside the house to see if somebody would answer. Didn't get an answer. Then I proceeded to check the perimeter of the house. All the lower perimeter was secure, but the upper master, it appeared to be the master bedroom slider window was slightly ajar, but the screen was shut. It would be fairly difficult for someone to gain access through that door, but it is an open door nonetheless, so a lead we have to follow. We were able to contact the person who lives here, and they instructed us. They left the door that way, and it appears to be the way they left it, and there's nothing else suspicious here at the location, so it appears to be likely a false alarm, probably activated by the dog inside.
Fantastic. We're going to hit the road and go catch some more perps.
That's right.
I'm here with Deputy Ward at end of watch at the end of our 12-hour shift. We're sitting here at North Beach with the nice, beautiful San Clemente Pier behind us, and we had a lot of calls today with Deputy Ward. What is the end of your shift like at the end of a 12-hour shift here in the city of San Clemente?
Generally, it just involves things like refueling the car. That way the person who takes it after us doesn't get mad that they don't have gas to get around. We have to finish our daily logs, and then from that we have to derive a stats sheet that basically just categorizes everything we've done today. And I get to change out of all this.
So,
put on my comfy clothes and go back home.
So being a sheriff isn't just all about the glory and the guns. A lot of it's about paperwork too.
The majority of it's about the paperwork. Like 80% of it is about the paperwork or the not so much glorious and guns and all that. So very little of our job is that action-packed adrenaline rush that most people would hope it would be. So
Well, Deputy Ward, thank you for protecting and serving the citizens of San Clemente, and thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
I'm here on Beach Patrol with Deputy Joe Bull at the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Deputy Joe Bull, why don't you tell me a little bit about Beach Patrol in San Clemente?
Beach Patrol is the enforcement of regulations on the trail and the beach to ensure that everyone who visits our trail and beach have a safe and pleasant experience.
And Deputy Bull, what would you say the #1 violation you encounter here in San Clemente is?
That would be alcohol violations.
And just for the folks at home, when are you allowed to drink alcohol on the beach in San Clemente?
Never.
And there you go, folks. Alcohol is not permitted on the beaches in San Clemente. Deputy Bull, you're an Orange County Sheriff member, and you work here in conjunction with San Clemente Marine Safety. So what kind of training do you have to be able to respond to incidents on the beach?
All deputies are cross-trained in first aid, CPR, first responder. If we encounter a medical aid and we're first on scene, we're trained to administer first responder, first aid, or CPR until either Marine Safety or Orange County Fire arrives.
Okay, and what is your jurisdiction when you're on Beach Patrol from the north to the south end of town? How far do you cover?
We cover all as far north as Poche Beach and as far down as Trussell's.
Okay, and as you see here, folks, we're sitting on quads, and typically when you think of the Orange County Sheriff's Department, you think of patrol cars. Why aren't you guys out here on patrol cars on the beach?
Well, number one, we don't want to get stuck in a patrol car on the sand. Number two, these vehicles are designed to go along the beach where you can't take a regular vehicle. There's also tighter areas where these can go into where a Jeep or a unit cannot. There's high and low tide conditions that we have to maneuver through, so these are the ideal vehicle for that.
Now, is there any parting words you want to leave with the folks at home about beach safety in the city of San Clemente?
Sure. Be a good citizen, keep the beach clean, and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Deputy Bull, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, and you have a good day, sir. I'm here standing in front of San Clemente Marine Safety Headquarters with Marine Safety Officer Blake Anderson. How are you, Blake?
Good, Chris, thanks.
Blake, why don't you tell me a little bit about San Clemente Marine Safety?
Well, San Clemente Marine Safety is just that. It's a lifeguard agency here for the city of San Clemente. We have a 2-mile stretch of beach that we safeguard, starting at Lost Winds all the way down to North Beach. We were established in 1931. We have approximately 50 seasonal lifeguards and 5 full-time.
So we're standing here in front of Lifeguard Headquarters, Blake. Why don't you tell me about Tower Zero located on the pier?
Tower Zero is on the pier, and it's open 365 days out of the year. It's the only tower on the beach that is open every day of the year. We open at 8 o'clock, and it's open all the way till sunset. Their main responsibility is to make sure that they're keeping eyes on all the people out in the water and report anything that needs to be taken care of out on the beach.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about the towers located north and south and how you differentiate between those.
Well, so we have a numbering system here. On the south side of the pier is all of our odd numbers. So you'll find towers 1, 3, 5, 7, and 11 all the way down to Lost Winds. And on the north side of the pier, we have all of our even numbers. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14 all the way up at North Beach.
Now, if you're a patron of the beach and you need help from a lifeguard, what is the universal sign to call a lifeguard?
Typically, if you just stay calm and raise your arm, a lifeguard will come out to assist you.
So if you're on the beach and you need to talk to a lifeguard, do you go up to Tower Zero or Lifeguard Headquarters?
Yeah, you can go to lifeguard headquarters. Typically, we don't like people coming up to Zero because they do need to keep their eyes on the water and not be distracted. But anytime you see one of the yellow Jeeps, or you can go up to lifeguard headquarters to ask any questions on the day, get any tips of where the hazards are, rip currents, how the surf is, anything like that. If you want to get information, we're always here for you.
And how many lifeguards do we have on duty at the busiest day of the year here in San Clemente?
The busiest day of the year, well, that's typically 4th of July, and most of our lifeguard towers actually have 2 lifeguards in each of them. So it ranges, I'd say probably about 30 plus lifeguards on the beach.
And that's to protect an awful lot of people on the beach. I notice we're standing right here in front of a PWC, and the lifeguards here in San Clemente respond on multiple different types of vehicles. Why don't you explain to me a little bit about the importance of the PWC for San Clemente lifeguards?
Well, this is our PWC. It's call signs 5690. We got it back in 2002. It's a great resource, great tool for us to use out here in case we have a long-distance swimmer, a boat rescue. It's always ready to go in a moment's notice during the summer. It's staged just on the north side of headquarters. It is launched on the 4th of July and Ocean Fest to help out in the water. And if there's a mass rescue going on or anything like that, we can get resources out in the water quick and help out our fellow lifeguards out there.
And so I've been told, along with you and Ian over here, we're going to do a simulated rescue, and I'm going to be the victim. Is that correct?
That is correct. So hopefully everything turns out okay for you, Chris.
Well, fantastic. Maybe we can get Ian over here for a second, take a look at what a lifeguard would wear when he's on a PWC and what kind of safety equipment he has when he's out there. How you doing, Ian?
Excellent, thanks.
So we have Ian here. He's wearing a helmet for safety, and he's got his fins. What do you use those fins for, Ian?
Just improves our swimming ability immensely as opposed to trying to swim just barefoot.
Okay, so now when we go out here, and I'm going to wave my hands because I'm in trouble, you're going to come up on the PWC, and then what's Ian's job going to be?
I'll be the deckhand on the sled, and when Blake gives me the signal, I'll roll off the sled with my rescue buoy, and I'll approach the victim, you, and secure you to make sure you're doing okay. And then we'll either swim in, depending on the surf, or if it looks like there's a set coming, we'll swim out, and Blake can pick us up and drop us off on the inside.
Okay, well, I'm excited. Let's do this. So there you have it. As you can see, we have the most professional, well-trained public safety officers around. They're here to serve and protect and are doing an exceptional job. In a recent FBI report, San Clemente ranked among the top 20 safest large cities in California. Nothing makes me prouder than to be one of these fine professionals of this great town we call home. I hope you enjoyed learning about the city's public safety providers and the many ways they help ensure our quality of life in San Clemente is maintained. For more information, log on to www.san-clemente.org. I'll see you next time on Around Town.